Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Box Score Sports YouTube channel. On today's episode, we are going to continue our NBA preview for the season to come for the Portland Trailblazers. We're going to hit on the Portland Trailblazers in this clip. Clint and I are going to do that. But before we get into it, let us know down in the comments below what you expect from the Portland Trailblazers this season, maybe some predictions and so on and so forth. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So let's get into the Portland Trailblazers. Clint, they were 36 and 46 last year. They re-signed Thibault, which was probably the big re-sign. Additions were Drew Holiday and Lillard, who won't play this season, and they draft Henson, and they lost Ayton and Simons, which were probably the big two. So if you want to know our thoughts of the Blazers offseason, we have a different video. Go check that out as well. Clint, going into the season, what is the biggest strength, or what are you looking forward to the most from the Blazers?
I think this is going to be a really good defensive team, at least the starters. With Holiday, Sharp, Avdia, Kamara, and Klingon, I think they're going to be a top 10 defensive team.
Okay.
They might fall out of that because, some of the other factors we'll get into. But at least those guys defensively, you can even bring in Thibault, Grant. He still is a good defender. So I think the strength of this team is going to be built on their defense and making the game ugly. But on paper, I think they're a really good defensive team.
To add to that, Robert Williams the third, when he's healthy and playing, he's a good defender as well. So yeah, you're absolutely right. That's their strength. I also think what you would be excited for, or just seeing how these young guys mesh and develop together. I'm excited. I liked Klingon coming into that draft. I was like, if the Pistons grabbed him, I would have been happy with that. I liked Shaedon Sharpe in that draft. The Pistons had an opportunity to draft him, and Scoot Henderson. Man, everybody was big on him. I kind of I hope he becomes something, because I never wish for anyone to fail. So I'm like, those things I'm kind of excited about Abdia is a good player. Kamara, he showed flashes last year. So I'm kind of excited to see this young core. And I think that's a strength. Again, going back to some of the other teams we talked about, there's like a hope behind it. Like, oh man, could these guys become something, building blocks for franchise players for the future?
Yeah, you hate to see it with Scoot Henderson.
Yeah.
He just can't seem to be healthy. What is he out with now? Hamstring, 4 to 8 weeks. That was a couple weeks ago. So, those are things that are just like injuries where then you can't work out. And I think for him, I think it was a shoulder, which again, then you can't shoot, a hamstring. Well, now you can't run. So then you're putting at risk when you come back. But you're right. As much as you hate to see guys just flop, and he showed a couple flashes towards the end of last year, but again, injuries suck.
Yeah. So let's hope he, after the hamstring, although hamstrings kind of linger, let's just hope he gets a healthy, fair shot at a season, and that he becomes something fun. Okay, let's just hope. Okay. Biggest weakness going into this season, or what you're not looking forward to?
I worry about their center depth. Robert Williams, again, if he can play, he's good. Hasn't been able to play. So behind Klingon, they drafted Hansen. I don't think he's really ready.
Okay.
He's kind of like a project that they want to get going. So you could kind of go small and try that out. But I think that's kind of the fall apart spot for this team is if Klingon misses some time, or even if he has to go out, he's not playing 48 minutes. When he comes out of the game, what do you do at the 5? And I feel like that might be the spot where, I said like a top 10 defensive team. It could fall apart when he's not on the floor. If Robert Williams, isn't up to playing. He isn't going to play a lot of minutes, but they kind of need their center depth. Worries me with, the health of Robert Williams.
Yeah, I like that one. That's a good one. I I think that obviously can be a problem because I'm with you on Henson, as I don't know if he's ready to play yet, but Hanson. But the with Williams again, he's one of those guys who just can't stay healthy. So he has flashes of like, oh, he's going to be a good center, and then he doesn't stay healthy. So that is a concern for sure. I have for my like weakness is like, I'm really excited for these young guys like we talked about, but like I think they just Grant, Thibault, Holiday. They got Lillard, but he's not going to play for a year. But it's just like some of these guys, I'm just like, I guess it's n I don't. I'm not going to be excited when they're on the court. I think you brought up a good point that they'll be a good defensive team, but this isn't a team like that I want to be competing for a play-in. And I think that's what they're trying to do. I want this team to let the young guys grow and just let them go through mistakes. And when you start to, I think, push these young guys to win, maybe before they're ready to win, what can happen is a lot like what happened, in my opinion, to like Wiseman and Kaminga and those young guys over in Golden State, where it's like, you're taking them off the court because I have Jeremy Grant, so I can now start Jeremy Grant because the young guys are screwing up. Holiday, oh, Scoot's having a rough half. We're going to take him out of the entire game and we're going to let Holiday play. Or Thibault or whoever, right? So I just wish. I think that's a weakness in my opinion because it can hamper progress and growth. You got to let young guys go through mistakes.
Yeah, yeah. I think you have a lot of talented guys on this team. You look at the roster and you're like, oh, it kind of makes sense. But like you said, you have a bunch of young guys and then a bunch of older guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good to have vets, but what's your line in the sand as far as we want to make the play in, or we want to see Scoot Henderson when he's healthy play? We want to see Shaden Sharp explore the studio. We want to see Advia continue to advance. We want to see Klingon expand his game. Do you get enough of that if Holiday's playing 30 minutes, if Grant's playing 30 minutes?
Yeah, yeah, and even like Thibault, but like Thibault's less of a problem. Yeah, I would be even more annoyed by it if Lillard was healthy. He's on the team because then you're like having him play too. But I also understand not wanting to keep losing, but then you end up like Chicago, where you're like you got like Patrick Williams, but you want to win, so you're playing DeRozan and Levine, and ignoring Patrick Williams, and he's sitting in the corner and he can't develop. So that's sort of the concern. Okay, big question going into this season for the Portland Trailblazers.
We kind of touched on it there. It's what direction are they going to pick?
Mm-hmm.
If the season's going good, I think we know they're going to push forward. But what direction is that long term? Like obviously Holiday's not long term for Portland. Lillard's not long term. I mean, he's going to retire there, but again, he's not a piece on the next great Blazers team. Neither is Jeremy Grant. So as we go down the year, are they going to just really just push? I think we know. Just push for that play-in spot, or if something comes up where they can move Grant, where they can move Holiday, will they do it for the long-term sake of the team, or are they just gonna, nope, this is our chance. We got to show that we're doing something, and it might be great this year, but as we've seen several times the NBA, maybe you make the play in this year, but next year Holiday's older, Grant's older, and maybe you can't depend on the young guys haven't advanced enough to just turn that over.
Yeah, and then you don't get the amount of stuff. What's the word? Value.
Return.
You don't get, yeah, right. You don't get the return you would if you did it before. Like, how often have we seen that happen where like, oh, somebody offer Caruso 2 first-round picks, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we just got a second. Well, I think they got Giddey for Caruso, right? Like, and you could have got more for him. It's like you don't want that to happen either. So I love that question because it's like a balance. And really, I think a team like Portland really just needs to focus on their young guys. I know they're sick of losing. Trust me, Piston fan here. Like you get sick of that after a while, but for the betterment of the team's future, you really got to hone in on those young guys. And if you can add more young and in assets, go for that. Go for the young assets. So,
Yep.
my big question is who is Scoot Henderson? Who is he? What is he going to be as a basketball player? He has flashes. And Shaden Sharp, by the way, him too. Like it's finally, it's kind of like year 3. Let's poop or get off the pot, like who are these guys? Can they show themselves to be building blocks at the guard position moving forward? That to me is the biggest, because if you can establish at least one of those guys as like a guy who can at least play playoff minutes in the NBA, you're good. But like, who are they? Let's find that out. That's my big question going this season. I want to find that out. Who are those two guys?
That's a good one. I think especially with Scoot Henderson, like he's a high pick. At some point, we got to be like, is this it? Or unfortunately, is Scoot one of the guys they move off of because someone else saw the flashes and they're like, well, we can keep him healthy. But you're right. He's getting close to that line where you kind of have to start making a decision. I don't know if it's after this year that he's like extension eligible, and that's a scary thought to have to pay someone that you haven't really seen besides, in a handful of situations.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What would be a successful season for the Blazers in your mind?
For me, it would be what we talked about: seeing Shaedon Sharpe, seeing Adria, seeing Klingon, seeing Scoot Henderson, like just seeing enough from those guys to build confidence in them going forward, at least to be like, all right, we got something here. He can be a 3 on our team. Scoot could be a 2, be a 3. Like just knowing where these guys are going to fit into the puzzle of the Blazers 3 years from now.
Yeah, agreed. I put give me one building block and I'm good. Like I don't care if it's Klingon, I don't care if it's Sharp, and I don't care, or Scoot. I would like all 3 of them to work out because that's the type of fan like I am. I want everyone to be good. But the thing is like I want one of them to show that they can be a franchise guy. Like you talk about a 1 or a 2, a 1A or 1B. I don't care what it is. Just give me something that I think would be successful more than making a playing game, right? If you barely get into the playing game and you're like, we still don't know who Scoot is, we don't know who Sharp, I could care less about getting into the playing game, honestly. So, and maybe Portland fans feel differently. Let us know, but I don't know. Give me your prediction for them, Clint.
I do think they're going to be a play-in team.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think their defense is going to be good enough, and they're going to build on that even if you have the 20th offense, but the 7th defense, I think there's enough bad teams and that you're going to get enough wins that I think they'll be, I don't know if they're right on the edge. Like there's 3 teams as we go through this in the West that are like right there. But I think the Blazers are going to be the one that is just going to push for it the hardest. I don't think they're going to sell off at the deadline. And I think after you get past the deadline and you have a few more teams that kind of punt, they're gonna end up stacking some wins.
Okay, I'm really curious as we go through these teams, what teams you got out that were in last year. I only found one that I took out of last year's playoff system, play in playoffs. Because of that, I think you're absolutely right. They're going to go hard for it. I think they're going to fall short. I think they're going to be a lottery team. They'll probably be them and the Pelicans. I think will fight for like that 11th spot, 12, 11. But I think they will try. I think you're right. They won't sell, and they're not going to me, I think they'll just be a lottery team. So that's where I have them. Okay.
Definitely possible.
Yeah. Anything else for the Blazers?
No, they're one of the few teams that we've done a few so far. Are kind of excited to see.
Yeah,
because I do really think defensively they are going to be a bear.
I do agree with that. I think though, like I don't know. I'm excited to see the young guys. I think there's just going to be growing pains on that with the young guys but like you said, they could just go all in. So we'll see what they do. So it is going to be exciting. They're going to be kind of a league pass team for me a little bit too. Like I want to see Klingon and Scoot and Shaedon. So okay, thanks for joining me, Clint. Thanks everybody for watching. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe and let us know in the comments down below. Portland fans, how you feeling about your team? What do you want your team to do this year? Let us know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.